There is a room somewhere in this world right now where time moves differently. The air is still. The light is soft. And in the center of that stillness, someone is preparing tea. Not rushing. Not thinking about what comes next. Just moving with quiet devotion, as if each gesture were a prayer. This is not just tea. This is the Zen tea ceremony, and it holds a secret that our distracted, overstimulated modern lives have almost forgotten. The secret is this: peace is not something you chase. Peace is something you prepare, slowly, with your own two hands. You already know the feeling I'm talking about. That restless hum beneath your ribs when you're scrolling through your phone at midnight. That sense of being everywhere and nowhere all at once. The exhaustion that comes not from doing too much, but from never truly arriving anywhere. We live in a world that celebrates speed, but rarely stillness. Efficiency, but rarely presence. And somewhere deep inside, we're all quietly aching for something we can't quite name. The tea ceremony was created for this ache. It was born centuries ago, not as entertainment, but as medicine for the soul. And today, it has something urgent to teach us. Take a slow breath with me now. Let your shoulders drop just a little. Because what I'm about to share with you is not just history or ritual. It's an invitation. An invitation to step out of the chaos, even for a moment, and remember what it feels like to simply be here. Fully, gently, without needing to become anyone other than who you already are. The Zen tea ceremony, known in Japanese as Chanoyu or Chado, meaning the way of tea, is far more than a method for making a beverage. It is a living meditation, a choreographed dance between host and guest, water and fire, silence and sound. Every movement is intentional. Every pause is sacred. From the way the bowl is turned in your hands, to the soft sound of the bamboo whisk against water, to the way you bow before drinking, each element is designed to pull you out of your thinking mind and into the luminous simplicity of the present moment. This is not a performance, it is a practice. And the practice is this: to honor the fleeting, unrepeatable beauty of right now. The ceremony emerged in Japan during the 15th and 16th centuries, shaped profoundly by the teachings of Zen Buddhism. But its roots reach even further back, into the misty mountains of ancient China, where Buddhist monks first discovered that tea could keep them awake and alert during long hours of meditation. What began as a practical tool eventually became something sacred. The act of making tea transformed into an expression of enlightenment itself. And when this practice traveled to Japan, it found its soul. Masters like Sen no Rikyu refined it into an art form built on four core principles: harmony, respect, purity, and tranquility. These four words are not abstract ideals. They are instructions for how to live. Let's pause here for a moment and let that settle. Harmony, respect, purity, tranquility. Notice how those words feel in your body. Do they soften something? Do they call to a part of you that's been waiting? The tea ceremony teaches that these qualities are not rewards for being good or spiritual. They are available to you right now, in the simplest of acts, in the way you hold a cup, in the way you meet another person's gaze, in the way you breathe. Before the tea is even made, there is preparation. The tea room itself, often called a chashitsu, is a space designed to strip away everything unnecessary. The entrance is low, so that everyone, regardless of status, must bow to enter. This is not about submission. It's about humility. It's a physical reminder that when you cross that threshold, you leave behind your titles, your worries, your need to be impressive. You enter as you are. The room is small and sparse. Perhaps a single scroll hanging in the alcove. Perhaps a simple flower arrangement. Nothing more. In a world obsessed with accumulation, the tea room whispers a radical truth. Beauty does not require excess. Peace does not require noise. The host prepares for hours, sometimes days, choosing each element with deep care. Which bowl will be used? Which tea scoop? What season does the moment call for? What feeling should the space hold? This is not perfectionism. It's devotion. The host is not trying to impress. The host is trying to serve, to create a container where the guest can feel safe, seen, and deeply honored. And this, too, is a teaching. That we can shape the spaces around us, however humble, to be sanctuaries. That preparation itself is a form of love. When the ceremony begins, there is silence. Not the awkward silence of discomfort, but the rich silence of presence. The host enters, carrying the utensils. Each movement is slow, deliberate, graceful. The water is heated over charcoal. The scoop lifts powdered matcha into the bowl. Hot water is poured. The whisk moves in calm, rhythmic circles, creating a frothy green tea that glows like spring itself. And all the while, you watch. You listen. You notice the sound of water, the texture of the bamboo, the way light falls across the tatami mat. Your mind begins to quiet. Not because you're forcing it, but because there is nothing pulling you away from this moment. You are exactly where you are. And that is enough. Let me tell you a story. Many years ago, a young student traveled to meet a revered tea master. The student was brilliant, accomplished, always 3 steps ahead in his thinking. He arrived at the master's humble cottage, expecting profound teachings, secret techniques, ancient wisdom. The master welcomed him with a bow and invited him to sit. Then, without a word, the master began to prepare tea. The student watched, fidgeting slightly, waiting for the lesson to begin. But the master said nothing. He simply made tea. Slowly, mindfully. When the tea was ready, the master offered the bowl to the student. The student drank quickly, still waiting, still expecting. When he finished, he looked up and asked, "Master, when will you teach me?" The master smiled gently and replied, "I just did." The student didn't understand at first. He thought teaching had to be verbal, intellectual, complex. But the master was showing him something far deeper. That the practice is the teaching. That the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. That if you cannot be present while making tea, you will not be present anywhere. The ceremony is not preparation for life. The ceremony is life, distilled into its purest form. This is what the tea ceremony offers us. It is a mirror. When you participate in it, even just by watching, even just by imagining it now as we speak, you begin to see yourself more clearly. You see where your mind rushes, where it resists stillness, where it craves distraction. And in seeing this without judgment, you begin to soften. You begin to come home to yourself. Now I know what you might be thinking. This sounds beautiful, but how does this apply to my life? I don't have a tea room. I don't have ceremonial bowls or bamboo whisks. I barely have time to drink coffee in the morning, let alone perform an ancient ritual. And I hear you. The beauty of the tea ceremony is not that you must replicate it exactly. The beauty is that its principles can infuse any moment of your day. You don't need a tea room to practice presence. You need only the willingness to slow down. Here's what I mean. Tomorrow morning, when you wake up, before you reach for your phone, sit quietly for 1 minute. Just one. Feel your breath. Notice the quality of light. Let yourself arrive into the day rather than launching into it. This is the spirit of the tea ceremony. When you make your tea or coffee, do it slowly. Feel the weight of the cup in your hands. Notice the warmth. Taste it fully, rather than gulping it down while scrolling. This is harmony. When you meet someone, whether a stranger or someone you love, pause before speaking. Look at them. Really see them. This is respect. Before you begin work, clear your space. Even if it's just moving 3 things off your desk. Create a small pocket of order. This is purity. And throughout your day, return again and again to your breath, to the sensation of your feet on the ground, to the knowledge that you are alive right now, in this unrepeatable instant. This is tranquility. The tea ceremony is not asking you to be different than you are. It's inviting you to be more fully yourself, to move through life with the same care you would use when holding something precious. Because you are holding something precious. Your one wild, fleeting, beautiful life. There's another principle woven into the ceremony that I haven't mentioned yet, and it's perhaps the most poignant. It's called Ichi-go Ichi-e. It translates roughly to one time, one meeting. It means that this moment, this encounter, this cup of tea, will never happen again in exactly this way. The people gathered here will age. The seasons will turn. The flowers will fade. Nothing is permanent. And so, we meet this moment with full attention, full reverence, because we understand its preciousness. This is not morbid. This is liberation. When you know that nothing lasts, you stop taking things for granted. You stop waiting for the perfect moment to be present. Because you realize that this moment is already perfect, simply because it is here. Take a slow breath now. Feel the air enter your lungs. Feel it leave. That breath will never come again. And yet, here it was, a gift. The tea ceremony teaches us to bow to these gifts. To say thank you, not with words, but with the quality of our attention. I think often about why this practice feels so necessary now. We live in an age of infinite information and profound loneliness. We are more connected than ever, and yet many of us feel unseen. We move fast, but we rarely feel like we're going anywhere meaningful. The tea ceremony offers an antidote. It says, slow down, be here, honor this. Let simplicity be enough. Let silence be enough. Let you be enough just as you are, without needing to produce or perform or prove anything at all. In the tea room, there is no hierarchy. The wealthiest person and the humblest person drink from the same bowl, in the same spirit. There is no judgment, no competition, no comparison. Just human beings, sharing tea, sharing presence, sharing this fragile, fleeting thing called life. And when you leave the tea room, you carry that spirit with you. You walk a little softer. You listen a little deeper. You see the world not as something to conquer, but as something to cherish. I want to invite you to try something with me right now, wherever you are. If it feels comfortable, close your eyes for a moment, or simply soften your gaze. Bring your attention to your hands. Notice their temperature, their weight, their aliveness. Now imagine you are holding a warm bowl of tea. Feel its warmth spreading into your palms. Notice its weight, perfectly balanced. Imagine bringing it slowly toward your lips. Pause before you drink. Bow, just slightly, in gratitude. Gratitude for the water, for the earth that grew the tea, for the hands that prepared it, for your own presence here, in this moment. Now take an imaginary sip. Let it be slow. Let it be savored. Notice the warmth traveling down into your body, and then gently set the bowl down. Open your eyes. Notice how you feel. Even this small practice, this tiny ritual of imagination, can shift something. It can remind you that peace is not far away. It's as close as your next breath. The masters say that the tea ceremony is a practice of wabi-sabi, the art of finding beauty in imperfection, in impermanence, in incompleteness. The tea bowl might have a crack. The flowers might be slightly wilted. The scroll might be faded. And this is not a flaw. This is the point. Because life is not perfect. You are not perfect. And that's okay. That's more than okay. That's beautiful. The tea ceremony does not ask you to transcend your humanity. It asks you to embrace it, to meet your imperfections with tenderness, to see the cracks in yourself and others not as failures, but as proof that we have lived, that we have loved, that we have been here. When I first learned about the tea ceremony, I thought it was about discipline, about memorizing movements and getting it right. But the longer I practiced, the more I realized it was about letting go of the need to be impressive, letting go of the fear of making mistakes, letting go of the endless inner commentary that tells us we're not doing enough, not being enough. In the tea room, there is only this, only now, only the soft sound of water, and the warmth of the bowl, and the presence of the person across from you. And that is everything. This is the gift the tea ceremony offers the world. In a time of noise, it offers silence. In a time of hurry, it offers slowness. In a time of separation, it offers connection. Not through words or explanations, but through shared presence. Through the radical act of simply being together, without agenda, without distraction, without needing anything to be different than it is. As we come toward the end of our time together, I want to leave you with this reflection. You don't need to travel to Japan. You don't need to learn complicated rituals. You don't need special equipment or training. What you need is already within you. The capacity to slow down, the willingness to pay attention, the courage to be present, even when it's uncomfortable, even when your mind wants to run. The tea ceremony is not something outside of you. It's a remembering, a coming home. So here's my invitation. Today, find one small moment where you can practice the way of tea. Maybe it's washing a dish with full attention. Maybe it's walking outside and noticing the color of the sky. Maybe it's looking into the eyes of someone you love and really seeing them. Whatever it is, do it slowly. Do it with care. Do it as if it mattered, because it does. Every moment is a ceremony. Every action is an offering. Every breath is a chance to begin again. And when you feel lost, when the world feels too fast and too loud, remember the tea room. Remember the quiet. Remember that somewhere inside you, there is a place that is always still, always peaceful, always home. You can return there anytime. Not by running away from your life, but by fully arriving into it. By meeting this moment, whatever it holds, with the same reverence you would bring to a bowl of tea prepared by loving hands. Before we part, let's take one more breath together. Breathe in. Breathe out. Feel yourself here, now, alive. This moment will never come again. And so we honor it. We bow to it. We say thank you, not for what it gave us, but simply because it was. Because we were here together. Because this is what it means to be human. To meet, to share, to let go, and to meet again. The ceremony is complete. The tea is finished, but the practice continues. It continues in how you close this video, in how you stand up, in how you move into the next moment of your life. Carry the stillness with you. Carry the reverence. Carry the knowledge that you are enough, just as you are, in all your beautiful imperfection. May you walk gently through this world. May you find peace in the simplest of things. May you remember that every moment is an invitation to begin again. And may you always, always taste your tea slowly. Today, may you find peace in simply being.